The Metropolitan Police wanted to add an additional tool to its toolbox of methods of dealing with conflict. We have our discipline process and other line management techniques, but we wanted a more informal process, and so we used CMP to train us in mediation techniques. CMP offered us the ability to have an in-house mediation service, and that was really important because the in-house bit gives you mediators who understand the culture of the organisation, and that we found to be really a great assistance when we're doing mediations. So CMP provided that ability. Their training was very high quality, and they've also done several refreshers with us, which we've all found very, very useful. The process we use is the manage process, where people who are independent of the incident that have happened actually try to mediate and resolve that incident, and we've trained a number of internal staff to do that mediation. We've seen massive benefits to the organisation from this. We've had about 160 requests for mediation, and of those that have gone through to mediation, about 70% have been successful. And I think this is a critical part of what we do. Mediation is so much better than some of the other processes that you can use. I'm also an independent grievance investigator, and if I compare my most complex case, which took 8 months to resolve, with many, many man-hours put into it, compared to the 2 or 3 days that I can get a mediation completed in, you can see how we can resolve things so much quicker using mediation. Some of the mediations we've carried out have been of absolute critical importance to the organisation. An example I'll give is a mediation that I carried out between 2 members of staff who were running a critical recruitment programme for us, and their dispute threatened to derail that whole programme. My mediation allowed them to work out their differences, and they agreed a way forward. But perhaps more importantly, and I think this is where the strength of mediation comes in, is that their agreement became a lasting one. I remember at the mediation, at the end of it, the 2 of them stood up and one of them stuck out his hand, and you could feel the emotion in the room as they shook hands. And even now, as I talk about it, the hairs on the back of my neck go up as I remember the emotion in that room. And that was a lasting resolution between those 2 individuals. That means they will carry on working effectively for us, and this recruitment programme will be successful. It's really important that we engage with conflict management strategies for a number of reasons. Firstly, recruitment and retention of staff. It's really important that we retain staff, and I've seen very damaging disputes between staff that have left to people leaving the organisation. But also, even if people don't leave the organisation, if we can resolve disputes at an early stage in a lasting way, then we can get far more effective work out of our workforce. And in a time of cuts, we need to make sure that everybody we've got in the organisation is working effectively as they can.